And to start us off, let's welcome the CEO and founder of QP Drones, which offers commercial drone services to clients in mining and agricultural sectors. This awesome lady, called Queen Ndlovu, is going to show us a world of possibilities. Welcome, Queen Ndlovu.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Queen Ndlovu. I'm the CEO of QP Drone Tech. I must admit that I'm a bit nervous because it's the first time that I'm presenting visually to lots of people watching me, so pardon me with that. Yeah, but may I start by expressing my gratitude for being invited into this prestigious occasion by Sasol and the event manager, Sasol Techno X 2022. I'm here to represent a company called QP Drone Tech. QP stands for Queen and Partners because I believe in partnering and collaboration with other people because together we can go far. So you see the slogan of the company, we say, you dream it, we build it. Anything that you dream about in drone technology, we try to meet you halfway, if not 100%. So the company was founded by me in 2018 and is 100% Black woman owned. Why I'm sharing this information with you, especially the young ones, the youth out there, that is all possible. You can be a woman of color, you can be older, but it's possible for you to reach your sky. So I'm here to present QP Drone Tech. We've been here for almost 4 years. What happened is that I decided to drop everything after being in business for 20 years to follow the tech business world, So I went to West Business School and they exposed me to drone technology. After being exposed to that tech, I decided to go to China because they were one of the other countries that were leading with drone technology. So I spent 6 months there. Why I'm sharing this information with you is because I was attracted how they create jobs within the drone world. So I was very ambitious, wanted to build drones here in South Africa, unlike importing drones from other countries. So I wanted to be an industrialist. Unfortunately, my ambition was not so much entertained because it was a bit early for the market in 2018, so I couldn't attract enough investment to build drones in 2018. But as an entrepreneur, I said, let me change my business model a bit, let me do other services within the drone tech. So I became a service provider, meaning that I offer services, as the hostess has said, to clients such as mines, clients like agricultural clients. We just offer services. We don't build drones, But the second offering that we do as QP Drone Tech, we have what we call drone for good or tech for good. We partner with the local communities, people like you that are probably watching me, and share knowledge about the drone industries. What are the opportunities out there? So there's 2 things that I'll be sharing with you that we do on drones is services operation, but also drone for good. A little bit about my bio, I'll be quick on this one. I mentioned that I'm the CEO and the founder of QP Drone Tech. Drone technology has other carriers. So the opportunity that I use as a woman in this space, I decided to become a co-author. So there's a book that I co-authored, a drone professional book that did very well, hitting #1 spot in Amazon in UK and Germany, #2 in US. So I'm an MD of the Flying Lab, South Africa Flying Labs. You remember I mentioned, guys, that it's up to you, So what I did, I said I need to share knowledge, that what I've accumulated for the past 4 years on drone technology by empowering that, transferring that knowledge to the community. Hence, then I became the CEO of the company called Flying Labs. So it's an international organization. We've got 22 I think now it's 37 flying labs, and I represent Flying Lab South Africa. What we do, I've already shared that we partner with people like yourself, the unemployed youth, to introduce them to drone technology. And yes, so, and also I get invited to be a speaker, and I've just enrolled to become a PhD student with Wits Business School. So why are we here? I have limited time to share with you what do we mean by drones. What is a drone? You know, a drone is almost like an aeroplane, but it's not an aeroplane. We call it is an unmanned aerial vehicle. You know, it's unmanned because there's no one that is inside the drone driving it. I have an example of a drone of the drone here. You see this drone. There's no way that a person can come inside it and pilot it. So it's unmanned. Unlike an aeroplane, we say it's manned because there's a man inside it that is piloting it, you know. So hence that is known as UAV, stands for unmanned aerial vehicle. And also sometimes it's known as a remote pilot aircraft system, you know. So when a person says that, they want to tell you what are the components of the drone technology, you know, that is there's a controller inside the drone system, there's multi-routers and all of that, you know. But don't worry, as long as you know that what does UAV stands for, and UAV is commonly known as drones. We've got types of drones. If you notice, the first example that I have, we call them multi-router drones. This is an example of a multi-router drone, and I'm going to show you the example of a fixed-wing drones. Why multi-router? I know as students and young people, once something has multi, it means there are a lot of routers are supporting it, you know. For instance, you've got in this one, so that one is just fair. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of this is multi-router. We've got another one called fixed wing, which I'm going to show with you. The one looks like an aeroplane. And we've got another type of drone that we call VTOL, which means vertical takeoff and landing, meaning that that kind of drone doesn't need a support to be launched. It's just launched anytime, anywhere where it's located to. So these are the type of multi-router we're talking about today, you know. The one on the black one, top left, on my left this time, that drone is a multi-router. It's special because it has what we call thermal capabilities. You know, it means it can even fly during night times, you know, and it has a beautiful camera. And on our right, we have another drone. You could see that it has what you call a speaking facility, a hailing service, you know, a speaker. We call it a speaker drone. These are the type of drones that we're trying to build in our company, QP Drone Tech. You know, when there's disaster, people need to communicate, to engage. If we have that kind of drone, you're able to tell people, turn left, it's dangerous on your right, you know. And below the speaker one, we call it lady speaker, by the way. Below the lady speaker drone, we have the drone that has a different something that is attached to it. So when the drone has different attachment, you call them payload. Okay, it's payload, but don't worry about terminology for now. You know, I'm just telling your teachers and other people that might be watching. So you see that the first payload with the one with the speaker, the second one, it has this payload. We usually use this type of drone when we do services in the mines because it detects minerals. What type of minerals are there in the mines? Is there gold? Is there diamond? On all of that. And we've got the other one that is covered with a cycle. That drone is a drone that can fly in places where it's very dangerous. You know, a normal drone cannot fly because it's going to damage its capabilities. So we use that kind of drone, and it's GIS denied. So these are the categories of multi-router drone. I want to show you the other type of drone. I call them fixed wing drone. You know, you see what I shared with you, Ella, it looks more like an aeroplane, but it is a drone. There's no one that is piloting this kind of drone, you know. But the difference between this drone and the other one is that this one is fixed. The wings are fixed, you see. The other one are not fixed. You can change them around. So this is the example of a fixed wing. If you want to remember, talking about fixed wing drone, just remember that is the one that looks like an aeroplane. But the difference between this fixed wing and the VTOL that I'm going to show you is that this one needs support to launch, to go upstairs, to fly, so to go high, you know. And the last type of drone that I shared with you, we said is VTOL. This one can launch anywhere, anytime. Like we can launch it from outside, it will just fly. It doesn't need any type of support. So meaning that the VTOL has some features of a multi-router and some features of the fixed wing. There it goes. So this one has become popular because, as I said, that it's easy to use. You can launch it from anywhere. You don't need a safe an open space to launch it. So these are the type of drones that we have: fixed wing, multi-router, and VTOL. I would like to show you an interesting innovation that is proudly built here in South Africa. We call it an airship. We call it a special kind of drone. But why I thought we need to show you this, because it's built here locally in South Africa by a guy who's stationed in Western Cape. You know, this drone is special because it uses solar energy. It uses the sun. You know, and what are the advantages of that? What is it that's special? It can fly between 12 to 24 hours because it's solar powered. Over and above that drone, they are using battery. Most of the drones are using batteries, like the small multi-routers. Others, like VTOL, they use a battery and fuel, but this one, you can add solar, you know? So it's very special for us, but you can also use the same drone to broadcast messages to the speaker drone when there's disaster as well. I'm passionate about disaster because we are becoming a thought leader in disaster management, hence we'll be hosting a conference, but I'll tell you more about that later. So this, other than that, can broadcast messages, flying for a long time, is that when there's disaster or there's crisis in the country, this kind of airship, you can use it to provide Wi-Fi for people to connect. Because when there's disaster, it's important that people communicate and engage. So you can use this. Lastly, delivery. You know that countries like Rwanda started using drones for delivery, for medical supply. This one, because it's huge, it can transport anything, whether it's 50 kg, unlike the one that we know, they transport 10 to 20 kg of weight. They can carry 20 to 20 of weight. I would like also to share with you just a short video on the airship that I've just demonstrated to you. Thank you. Enjoy. Oh, so it's possible, guys. thank you so much. Hope you have enjoyed. You saw the benefits, can map the railway, can map anything, you know. Now, I know you're curious, where else you can use drones? Drones, almost all the sectors, you know, can actually apply the use of this beautiful technology. You know, can use it for security. We know South Africa, like any other country, has a high crime rate. So instead of using only ground personnel, you can have the aerial view to check what's happening, like mines. You've got illegal mining. You've got criminals all over the country. So these are kind of technology that you can use. By the way, even the small one, it depends on the scope, whether it's a big site or a small site, you can use for security purposes. Disaster management, I think I've shared that. Sometimes, like we had a project with Liberty head office, whereby they had a lot of problems with their buildings. They were flooding a lot. So we used drones and other robotics to check the state of the building, the condition of their building, to check where are the cracks, where are the leaks, and after making that diagnosis, they were able to fix that problem. So that's the power of a drone when you want to check a building condition or building audit, you know. Sometimes when you are building, it's good for construction progress monitoring. Usually we use engineer, but they are human beings. Sometimes not safe for them to be there upstairs, you know, checking things, you know. So with the drone, you know, it's not human beings. So safety is very important. You can check what stage is the construction, you know, to give people the idea of the progress. Photography, I think most of you young ones, you see people use drones for filming. You use that, the popular one for filming is this type of drones, and for delivery, I think I've mentioned that. But any other sector you can think about can apply these drones, you know. Careers is a common question when I present to young people that they want to pursue this career, but I always encourage them that people think that the only career that is there within the industry is to be a pilot, you know, but there are a lot of other opportunities. There's something that I share with you when I started that I'm a drone author. You could be an author. You could be a drone pilot, but the drones crash all the time. You know, we need someone to repair the drones, you know, so you could be a repair and maintenance technician, or you can build drone. You remember I said my first business model when I entered this business, I wanted to build drone. You can be a builder, or can be a software technician, or hardware technician. So there are a lot of opportunities, because not everyone qualified to be a drone pilot. You need to be 18, and you need to go for training, you know, but unless you're really passionate about it. I'm about to finish. Drone technology is operating within aviation. I told you that it's like an aeroplane, like Banabak. So it's highly regulated. I see some people, they just become careless and fly these drones. Now you're going to prison if you fly a drone without a permission. You need to have a permission, especially if you are getting money out of it. They say if you commercialize it, you know. So the law that is usually used, part of the clause in the whole aviation industry, the drone technology falls under part 107, and it's important that as a business person like myself, I can't fly without having an ROC. If I don't have it, then I must partner with someone that has an ROC. ROC means you've got a remote operating license. That's a license that you need as a business running this kind of operations, you know. And also, as we mentioned, that as a drone pilot, you cannot buy a drone because you're enthusiastic and fly it. You need to be a qualified drone pilot, you know. And there are also some restrictions as well. You might have all the credentials, have the license, but also there's distances that you can fly and others that you are not allowed to fly. For instance, South Africa is a bit behind regarding this clause of this. Is not yet allowing us to fly beyond the line of sight, meaning that you need to be constantly seeing your drone when it flies, you know. But in other countries, we are allowed to do that. Even if you don't see it, you can allow to use other means to trace your drones. But in South Africa, you need to. So you go to jail if you do that, you know. And the areas that are called restricted airspace. So I'm talking fast because I'm worried about time. It means you are restricted to fly around that space. For instance, I'm thinking like prohibited, like airport. You can't fly inside the airport. Restricted permitted means that you can fly, but you need to meet other conditions. You know, like you need to get the permit from the landowner who's owning that land. You need to have your license and a lot of things, you know. But the space where you call dangerous airspace, like if you are a drone pilot within oil and gas space, it's important that you know the protocol because it's quite dangerous there, you know. So these are the things that you need to familiarize yourself when you are ready to enter the business. I know there are people that do it for fun, but still observe the protocol, you know. Things like your 18, I mentioned, your health condition, you need to be tested, medical condition if you are fit to fly and all of that, you know, safety issues, you know, and equally important, you need to plan. So you apply to what you call CAA. It's a civil authority in South Africa that regulates all what is happening within the aviation industry. So when you want to fly a drone commercially, it's important that you have your papers, but before you fly, you need to get a permission from them. And then you plan how you're gonna fly, when are you gonna fly, which type of drone you're gonna be using. Yes, I think it's one of my last slides, if not the last slide. I'm taking advantage of people that are here. I'm seeing our favorite professor from UJ and our student listening to us. I'm hosting the first historic drone conference in South Africa. I'm the first one to host this kind of conference because global reality is here to stay. We need to do something about it. Regrettably, we saw what happens in KwaZulu-Natal. So the conference is taking place on the 20th to 21st of October. And it's Cape Town, Central City Conference Center, and the theme, of course, my favorite, hence I'm known as a drone queen, is incorporating drones and robotics into disaster management and humanitarian aid. Everyone is welcome, government, public sector, students, youth, and everyone. I think I'll conclude by showing a short video of the strength and the capability of the drone technology.
Himila kansela mangena maripe mera wa masipala wa Zanini. Himaka ya vuvabi bya ngozi bya coronavirus. Ikumbela vaakatiko ku tshama emakaya va huma ntsena loko swi boha. Hlambani mavoko a n'wina nkarhi na nkarhi. Basisani laha mi tshamaku kona. Loko mi ri van'wini, siyani mpfhuka exikarhi ka n'wina. Ha khensa. Gina mera mangena maripe wa Greater Zanini Municipality. Kaba kala bothata bogolo bja coronavirus re kgopela badudi ka moka ga bona go dula magaeng le tšwe fela ge le gapeletšega tlhapang matsogo nako le nako ge le gare ga batho siang sekgoba magareng ga lena re a leboga.
Mphakathi, niyanxuswa ukuba nihlale emakhaya. Uma kwenzekile waba ngaphandle, qikelela ukuba nesikhala esingango-1.5 meters komunye umuntu. Gwema nanoma yini engafaka wena nomndeni wakho engozini yokuthola lesi sifo. Sifuna wonke umuntu ahlale ephephile.
Kindly stay home, avoid gathering, adhere to social distancing of 1.5 meters when outside. Stay away from everything that puts you and your family at risk as we wish everyone to be safe.
Nceda uhlale ekhaya, uphephe ukubambelela ekunciphiseni iphakathi kumgama we-1.5 yeemitha xa ungaphandle. Hlukana nayo yonke into ebeka wena nosapho lwakho emngciphekweni. Njengoko sinqwenela ukuba wonke umuntu akhuseleke.
Bly asseblief thuis vir my vergaderings en bly by sosiale afstand van 1,5 meter van die volgende persoon. Bly weg van alles wat jou of jou familie in risiko stel en wees veilig.
Thank you. That was a prototype that we used when we had the problem with Corona 2 years ago. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Bye-bye.